I have this question I've been wrestling with for years now. It's always there in the back of my mind, deep in my heart. No matter how much I try to ignore it or run from it, it keeps popping back up. What am I supposed to do with my life? That's the question. I've got this strong sense that God made me for something. But what? Ever since I can remember, I've been close to God. When I reached a crisis point in high school, battling with depression and isolation, it was the church that offered me a place of life and joy. The body of Christ sustained me. I fell in love with His church and got as involved as I possibly could my senior year before college. So I have this intimate relationship with the Lord, but why can't I hear Him? Shouldn't I be getting a clear answer? That's when it occurred to me. Maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Maybe it's not, what am I supposed to do? But rather, how well do I listen? Maybe He's been calling me and I didn't want to hear what He was saying. That's what happened to me at Jubilee. I was looking for any excuse not to go. I had a paper due and a test the next week, and the last thing I wanted to do was spend a weekend not focused on school. But then Justin said, when you don't want to go to something like Jubilee, there's usually a reason. Reluctantly, I decided to go, but I said, I'm not interested in going to any workshops about ministry. And I kept to my word. I didn't go to any of those sessions. But that didn't stop God. By Saturday night, I was undone. I felt like Jonah, who ran away from God but couldn't run away from his calling. God called Jonah deeper, and he was scared. Scared God actually meant what he was saying. God was calling me deeper, and I was terrified. Terrified that I knew what He was calling me to, and I was running the other direction. And that's right where the Lord met me. In a quiet, firm, and personal way. I didn't hear His voice the way I had always expected. There was no audible command telling me what to do. And yet I knew, with an abiding peace, He was calling me into ministry. And I was listening. And what's more, I realized that I had felt this call for a long time and pushed it away. I didn't want to accept it. I kept it at bay by asking questions like, what am I supposed to do? Because I was afraid to ask, how well do I listen to His voice? I've already begun this next stage of my journey, serving as my church's intern and leading the youth group. And it turns out this meets a deep need our church has to care for the youth. Affirmation of the Lord's call. And I'm humbled and honored with the task to continue offering the same space of life and joy through the church that I have experienced over the years. I can't be exactly sure of God's plan, but I can be sure of this. He's calling your name. Maybe it's to ministry or something that seems really daunting, or maybe it's just saying yes for the very first time. My advice? Trust Him. Listen to Him. He's calling.